edition of Beyond the Curtain Wrestling Podcast. Always back with a brand new episode with this man, host of Takin the Bump podcast, Jimmy Jam, James Beatley. I always have to ask her, how the hell are you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing really, really good. Let's break down this motherfucking episode of AEW Dynamite.
We're already off to a bad start with you cussing in the first minute of the podcast.
Listen, I'm sorry.
Jesus.
Unfiltered around. It's unfiltered.
Always unadulterated, never duplicated. That's the tagline of this. Anyways, you know what we're about to do, guys. We're about to review this AEW Dynamite from tonight of this recording, June the 10th, 2020. Decent episode, I think. Wasn't great, wasn't horrible, but it was decent. Open up the show with Le Champion, Chris Jericho, returning to commentary. It's a four-man team tonight. We had Excalibur, JR, Tony Schiavone, and Chris Jericho. Interesting quadruplet, I guess you could call it. But, yeah. Now, we're recording this during the last part of the NASCAR Cup race, so if we keep doing this back and forth, that's why. Trying to get through this while we can watch the last few laps. But anyways, it's always good to hear Le Champion on the commentary team. Does a great job. I love it. But anyways, let's get to the action. The first match of the night featured the Butcher and the Blade against the debuting FTR. Came in their old school pickup truck, which is always cool.
You know what kind of truck that is?
I didn't pay attention enough to even look at it.
Pretty sure it's a Chevy.
I wanted to say a Chevy, but
yeah, pretty sure it's a Chevy.
Didn't care enough to pay attention to that. All you car enthusiasts out there are going to be like, what the hell, man? Why don't you know your cars and trucks? I'm not a car guy. I can care less. If it gets me to point A to point B and it's in good, decent shape.
Like that Hyundai?
No, that was never, ever in good shape. I hate Hyundais. Anyways, FTR versus Butcher and the Blade. I thought this was a good match. Good way to debut. A solid tag team match. Great debut for FTR. Of course, they get the win here. Their finishing move, I don't remember what they called it, but they basically had the shades of Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. These guys are purebred pro wrestlers with the emphasis on the word wrestlers. Mm-hmm. These guys are great. What do you think of this match? I mean, this was overall just a fantastic match, I thought.
Yeah, it was a really, in my opinion, it was a good match. It was probably one of the better matches on the whole card. And I like the work between both of these teams. They've really worked well together. They told a good story, and it's weird because you're accustomed to Butcher and the Blade kind of being this heelish, dominant tag team, but yet we're getting shades of FTR being a heelish, dominant tag team. So it was kind of the character dynamic was a little bit different than normal. It wasn't like your super strong babyface tag team and your super strong heel team. It's kind of FTR kind of being that tweener team now, and then a returning heel tag team looking to build some momentum for themselves. It was a good match. I think they could build a pretty solid division around both teams. Butcher and the Blade, I feel like with some of the other tag teams that AEW has, you didn't get to see the full capability of them because they're not high flyers. They're ground and pound, technical guys. They're big guys, and with teams like the Young Bucks and Private Party and the like, it's very hard to. For me, it was really hard for Butcher and the Blade to really get over when they're not really capable of performing the high spots. Now you have another team that you can just beat the shit out of, and they'll beat the shit out of them. And I loved it. It was good, technical wrestling. Probably the only segment on this card Jim Cornette would like.
It goes downhill from here, Jim, but I hate you anyway, so it doesn't matter.
He blocked me on both of my accounts, so
good. He's not exactly a friendly man. Let me tell you that much.
Yeah, but no, really solid. I like this style of tag team wrestling. And it's kind of cool to see what FTR can do when they're not shaving each other's backs every week on TV.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
BtheC would approve that too. Anyways, you get the Young Bucks and FTR promo at the end of that. Of course, they're teasing that. That's the match that everybody wants to see is FTR versus the Young Bucks. Hope you don't get it ASAP like at Fyter Fest. I hope they let this one play out until possibly All Out. Give me your big pay-per-view. Give me some fans in there. Let the match have take its own course and let the fans kind of go on that roller coaster of a ride. QT Marshall and Dustin Rhodes apparently are for facing Heyman and Kenny Omega for the tag team titles next week. That was announced tonight. And of course, QT with Ali is getting weird. That's whatever. Match number 2 is also a tag team match. This features the women. We've got Penelope Forehead Ford and the Native Beast Nyla Rose versus Chris Statlander and the AEW Women's World Champion Hikaru Shida. I thought this was a pretty solid tag team match. Not the greatest, but it was pretty good. Nyla, as far as we know, didn't hurt anybody. You get to the end of the match, and Nyla beats or hits Shida in the head with her title belt, and then Penelope gets a big roll-up and pins the champion. So the champion loses, gets a pinfall loss from Penelope Ford, which one would think would set up a women's championship match between Penelope and Shida at Fyter Fest, but that's just, my guess.
Speculation.
But what do you think about this segment, this match?
This women's division has its moments, and I think this is actually a pretty good moment, and for the division, one of the better matches we've seen. Penelope Ford, honey, your forehead is big, but put on a bigger wrestling attire. Your cheeks were showing all fucking match. And that's not bad. I'm not complaining. But come on, sweetheart. That roll up pin, you did the Charlotte figure 8 little kip up little thing, and all you saw was flexed out cheeks. And again, not complaining. I'm just saying. I don't know if Kip would approve of that. I don't know.
I guess we'll have to see.
we gotta get Kip on here and see what he says.
What if TNA owns the rights to Cute Kip from the gimmick back in the early 2000s or mid 2000s to late 2000s to early 2010s? Because if not, Cute Kip should be his name, just because I remember that. I don't know why.
But no, it was pretty solid. What was it? The suplex off the top rope. Shida hit Nyla. That could have been a danger spot.
Double knee strike on the top ropes there was pretty nice too.
Yeah, that was pretty good. They had some pretty good
moments.
Segments of them moments. I couldn't think of the word for a second. Pretty good moments in this segment. Again, like I said, one of the better women's matches we've seen in quite a while for the AEW. Only complaint was, as far as I know, it was the only women's match on the card.
It was.
And I feel like we're showcasing the same 4 women. And I get people like Shanna and other women, maybe travel problems or whatnot, but you do have your indie talent that do your dark shows available, and you can kind of use them as well, and maybe instead of having all 4 women fight in one match, split it into 2 or 3 matches on the card or whatnot. Get some more time for the women's division. That's something that is the only critique I have of AEW. Is I don't want to say the focus isn't on the women's division, but it doesn't seem like they put a lot of attention, and a lot of these girls, they only fight once or twice a month, and it's hard to get reps, it's hard to get practice, it's hard to build chemistry with the people if you're not constantly working on it, and getting those reps in the ring. But who am I? I'm just a fan. I can't tell them how to book their damn show. So,
Yeah, no, I agree though. I think the more reps, the better they get, and they need more segments for women on the show. Whether it's more matches, more promos, more vignettes, I don't know, but they just need more time for women. I understand it's a 2-hour show. We've said this before, and we'll say it always again. But eventually we just got to get more time for the women on the show. We get to yet another tag team match on the card, except this is a 6-man tag match. Best Friends with Orange Cassidy against members of the Inner Circle, Jake Hager and Santana and Ortiz, Proud and Powerful. I thought this was a solid 6-man tag. Usually those, anytime you get more than just a tag team match, it can get a little sloppy. People have to get their stuff in, Orange Cassidy once again proved that he is one of the most entertaining things in pro wrestling right now. I know a couple people that would disown me and hate me for saying that.
Your fiance?
I understand that it's not the traditional thing in the world. I understand it's completely different. It's a joke. It's a sideshow. Whatever you want to call it. But at the same time, wrestling is not supposed to all be serious. It's supposed to be a mix of everything. It's supposed to have different flavors. And the company's job, in my view, is to give you a lot of flavors, and then you decide what you like and what you don't like. And if you don't like it, hey, great. Something on the show, maybe you will like it. Not every show will be perfect. Not every show will be great. So it's just, up to you on how you want to, determine that. But anyway, it's a good, solid tag team match. Orange Cassidy actually pinned Santana in this, which means the Best Friends got the victory tonight. There's a post-match beatdown. This is where Le Champion leaves the broadcast table and joins his fellow brethren in the Inner Circle and beats the holy hell out of OC and Best Friends. But in the end, Best Friends did get the win here. Overall thoughts on this segment? This segment...
Again, I can't remember the first time I said it, but I feel like I say it every time Orange Cassidy wrestles. The dude can flat out perform in the ring. He floats like a butterfly and stings like a beaver. And he's awesome in the ring. And I love what he can bring to AEW. He's a solid, I guess you can call him a comedy act. I don't know what you want to, but he wrestles really well. I like that roll up, whatever the hell that was, where the way he did the roll up pin, it looked like he twisted his leg like a pretzel around whoever he pinned.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And that was great. And I love the double entendre with the beatdown, with the bloodied Orange Cassidy getting beat several times with blood oranges. That's just, again, whole production value thing. Make it make sense. Like, Chris Jericho's a fucking genius. He's this evil mastermind. It's perfect. It's awesome. As much as I didn't like seeing Orange Cassidy get his ass kicked like that. It leads to the match. Everybody says that they want to see FTR and the Young Bucks. I think the most anticipated match is Orange Cassidy versus Chris Jericho. Everybody that I saw on Twitter tonight wants that match at Fyter Fest, and I'm one of them. Give us that match.
No, it's almost like a Goldberg versus Jericho match from '98, where the fans were, Jericho was getting that little thing over, and people were clamoring for it. They wanted it. They didn't get it, or they did get it, but it was just so much of a bad thing. They could do a lot with that. Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy match, I think it'll be actually very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
And entertaining. That's the biggest thing about it, be entertaining.
Well, see, anything Jericho touches now
is gold.
Is gold.
Yeah, absolutely.
That Pineapple Peach match, Pineapple Pete match. Sorry, I'm a couple beers down tonight. Oh,
shit, my bad.
That Pineapple Pete match was good. He has like several gimmick T-shirts that I feel like he ad-libbed a couple times on the show. So you put Orange Cassidy and Jericho in the ring.
It's gonna work.
It's gold.
It's gonna work.
It'll sell some tickets.
Not right now.
It'll
sell something.
It'll sell something.
Shirts, views, whatever.
Merchandise.
Yeah. Get to the next match with Sammy Guevara versus Colt Cabana. This was my least favorite match of the night. It was a little sloppy. I didn't really care for it.
Yeah.
Even if Colt Cabana's on my fantasy team, he got a loss. He still got me some fantasy points. It doesn't matter. I just can't wait till August so we can redraft. My team's a way lost cause ever since about a month and a half ago. Sammy got the win here. Dark Order came out, was kind of luring Colt Cabana to come and join them. This is a lot of losses Colt had, and he walked away with the Dark Order. Matt Hardy comes out and has these different gimmicks that he portrayed to Sammy in this promo. He tells Sammy he needs to leave IC, the Inner Circle, and leave Chris Jericho, do stuff on his own, because that's how he's going to really, become better and bigger in the company and in wrestling. And like I said, he kind of did a promo, and he cut it a promo with like his 3 or 4 different characters, which was very entertaining, very interesting. Probably only Matt Hardy might be one of the only people to do that and get away with it. Sammy's a little annoying on the microphone, but he's good in the ring. But this is just kind of a sloppy match, I thought. And yeah,
it felt sloppy to me too. I think it was decent, and the match was okay. Again, I'm not a big fan of like Sammy faking this injury and then just like not just being totally fine to fight in this match. That wasn't. I don't know. Just make it seem real. Make it seem like he has some sort of impairment on the leg. Even if he won the match, I wouldn't really care who won or lost. But if the faking, I mean, I guess he's a heel, and that's what they do is they fake injuries or whatever. But I don't know. It kind of rubs me the wrong way a little bit. And then the match was decent. To be honest, I was focused more on the Blue Emu 500 at this point than the Colt Cabana match. It was a decent match, I guess. The whole Dark Order thing kind of, I guess it makes sense because the Dark Order, all they're getting is some AEW Dark losers all the time. So, I mean, I guess it makes sense. With Cabana, you kind of have a name that you can put on Dynamite every week. And then Matt Hardy, just again, another one of these genius guys that AEW has with Jericho, and someone that's done it for quite a while. And his whole changing of gimmicks, like on the spot, I think that's pretty cool. The whole like Sammy promo after, though, that was sloppy as hell. Like the music came in kind of weird, and I don't know. It was just kind of, I don't know if it was rushed or not planned or not planned properly. I really couldn't. I don't know. It was a little sloppy. But otherwise, pretty decent match in the middle of the card, and I guess it served its purpose. I guess.
Sure, let's go with that. We cut backstage. Alex Marvez, he's interviewing Jon Moxley. Moxley starts cutting a promo on Brian Cage. Taz was in his trailer apparently and heard everything go down and cut a quick promo on Moxley before Cage beats the living hell out of Moxley, putting him through, not through, but landing him on a car door or hood and then smashing him through the back window of the car. Of course, this is setting up further and further their match at Fyter Fest for the World Championship. Definitely looking forward to this match. Taz has sold this match for me. He's going to be great with Brian Cage. Cage is a big physical power dude. He's jacked. You believe that he could kick somebody's ass like that. Mox is just a crazy lunatic and insane fighter. So it's going to be an interesting match. And like I said, every week they definitely build me up, and I'm really enjoying this. I'm enjoying this much more than I did with the Moxley Brody Lee stuff. So it'll be an intriguing match. I think this whole thing just needs to kind of keep building and building for the next couple of weeks, and then we'll get to whatever happens at Fyter Fest. Any quick thoughts about that before we move on to the main event?
Yeah, I think it'll be a. I wish they would tell us if Moxley's fighting both nights of Fyter Fest, or when this match, if it's match night 1 or match night 2. That's maybe they'll build that up later on. And maybe it'll be something like what Wrestle Kingdom was this year, where the results of night 1 depend on who fights night 2 or whatnot. I like the segment. Taz is really good on the mic, and I think that's the one thing that kind of irks me about some of the comments on Twitter and whatnot, of everybody saying like AEW is bringing these old, irrelevant guys to be managers for some of these wrestlers. But Taz is really good on the mic. Jake the Snake is good on the mic. Arn's good on the mic. Tully is really good on the mic. So I don't think. I mean, I would rather have them talk and be the mouthpiece for somebody than bring back 85-year-old Oldberg to win your champion every year. But
make a good point.
It was a pretty decent segment. I would have taken that car though. You didn't have to destroy it. No, but it served the purpose. It's getting everything kind of hyped up. Fyter Fest seems like it's going to be a pretty good show. Both nights, maybe. I don't know what's really planned. I know we have what's his fucking name? Moxley and Brian Cage fighting. We have the tag team match.
Every title's going to be on the line, so...
Yeah.
We'll
get the women's title match. I'm sure they'll announce that in a week or two. We get the TNT title match at the main event. We'll talk about that in a second. I don't want to spoil that. So, and again, I wonder if it's dependent upon who wins those title matches and if they'll defend them back-to-back weeks. That would be something cool.
I would agree.
And... yeah, it was a decent segment. Again, I like how they had this little beatdown, but I don't think they'll touch each other again until Fyter Fest. Like, that's usually how it works. Like, I like how AEW builds up these title matches. That's one thing that they do really well. Yeah, we get to the main event.
Main event time. TNT Championship on the line. Cody defending his title against Private Party member Mark Quinn in his first singles match in AEW. I think his first singles match in like 2 or 3 years. So, interesting opponent, interesting match. Jim Cornette's going to hate this match as well as a lot of wrestling traditionalists, where Mark Quinn does a lot of flips, a lot of aerial moves. They don't like that. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was serving its purpose because Mark Quinn was trying to beat down Cody and weaken him and try to win the belt. But it was a very good match. Quinn showed a lot here. You know, if he was a singles guy, I love Private Party as a tag team. I think they're great. But if for whatever reason Mark Quinn went out on a singles run, he's got my vote. He's very good. I'm sure Isaiah Cassidy is pretty good, you know, and it's a singles competitor too. But Mark Quinn definitely showed out tonight. He did awesome. With all those moves, it kept, you know, deteriorating his legs. Cody was focaling that muscle, that body part, and then eventually won with a pretty sick-looking ankle lock. He went from the traditional ankle lock, like Angle and Shamrock uses, and then went to like his leg bent, or he was using his feet to bend the ankle more, and it was looking pretty sick, but it was very good, I thought. So, of course, Cody wins and retains his championship. Hager comes out and starts beating up Cody. Private Party saves him. And then the Inner Circle brawls with Cody, Private Party, Matt Hardy to kind of end Dynamite. And then kind of Cody cut the little quick promo on Hager saying that, hey, I already accept. I already know what you want. You want a TNT Championship match. So he accepted it, and he basically put the words in Hager's mouth and ran with it. So it'll be Hager versus Cody at Fyter Fest, which means we may not see the TNT Championship getting defended every single week like Cody promised. But hey, what do I know? I just think it'll be an interesting match. Interesting little build-up here a couple weeks beforehand. But not a bad way to end the show. Good match for sure. Match of the night in my opinion. Yeah, it was good. And Mark Quinn, to me, so Isaiah Cassidy is solid. He's a good wrestler, but it seems like to me, you watch every Private Party match, Dark or pay-per-view or Dynamite or whatnot, Mark Quinn is the more of the, how do I say this? He has, I would say he's the more technically talented wrestler. He does the high spots and all of that. That one, like, almost looked like a botch turned into a DDT type move that he did. I don't know what you would even call that.
was very solid. He did like a series of tope, whatever the hell you want to call them.
Tope con hilo, tope suicida. He did all sorts of tope stuff. 450 onto the ramp.
The one on the ramp that he did, the 450 splash on the ramp.
That was sick.
I feel like both of them broke a rib during that contact. And it's a solid match. Mark Quinn looked like a solid superstar. And I got to give him all the praise that he deserves in that match. He really showed out. Cody retained. We know Cody's job now is he's going to be John Cena and put the younger talent over. Cena didn't really put the younger talent over.
See.
But that's kind of the role he's given. You're going to have to... Somebody will eventually beat Cody and take that title from him. I don't know if it'll be Hager at Fyter. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. I liked the match, though. It was a really good match. I think we get this short little setup with Hager and Cody. Because it was kind of cool because Cody wasn't part of this Stadium Stampede match. So we kind of have this still lingering part of the Inner Circle versus Elite thing going on here. And then hopefully we get Orange Cassidy to fight Chris Jericho one of the 2 nights at Fyter. And so the Inner Circle's making their presence known on an AEW. They always do.
They're not going away.
No,
not easily, at least.
Even though they lost, and they lose a lot now recently, they're still there, and you still know they are there. But again, solid match. I enjoyed both the opener and the ending match of this show. So solid match. Good way to end AEW.
Absolutely. What did you think of AEW? Out of the 2 thumbs every week, I'm gonna give it
I'll go 1.
1.25.
1.25.
1.25 thumbs. It's really weird, but a 1.25 thumbs. Thought it was a solid show. Not great, not horrible. Just very pretty good, pretty solid. Put up the old Polsky on the Twitter machine as usual every Wednesday night. What did you guys think of Dynamite tonight? That's the same 4 choices. Did you enjoy it? Didn't enjoy it? Didn't watch it or watched NXT? You guys over 10 votes. So I mean, it's somewhat legit in my opinion because we're still small, so we're building up a little bit. But 93% of you said you enjoyed it. Only 7% of you said that you didn't watch it. Nobody didn't put that they didn't enjoy it. Nobody put that they watched NXT. So appreciate you guys as always for helping us out with that and joining in on the poll. Appreciate that. Got over 640 followers now on Twitter, guys. We are marching our way towards the 700 follower plateau. Appreciate you guys following back and just going on this ride with us. Of course, never intended this to be huge, popular, big. Just something out of fun and something that I enjoy doing. So I appreciate you guys with not only watching these videos here on YouTube, but for subscribing and liking the videos and then following the Twitter page and doing your part in putting feedback. It's crucial and important to our podcast, so appreciate you guys on doing that as well. I think it's before. I think you had a poll as well.
I did. I'm stealing from your limelight. I put up a poll, kind of basically the same thing as yours. Did you enjoy AEW Dynamite this week? Answers are yes, no, didn't watch, or watched NXT. I had 11 votes, and I think the results were pretty similar. I had 91% say yes, they enjoyed. 0% said no, they didn't enjoy. 0% said they didn't watch. And 9% said they watched NXT. So remember, that's 10 yeses and 1 watched NXT if I could do my math properly in my head. Seems like everybody enjoyed AEW this week then.
Absolutely, which is great. Even if it wasn't their best show in the world, you guys still enjoyed it, so that's the most important thing.
And one last thing before we get into social medias. Private Party's new entrance, fire.
Dude, I did like their new entrance theme. That was pretty cool. As soon as I heard the song, I'm like, that's not a usual Private Party theme song. And
when I heard, oh my God, it's Private Party. Sounded like Tyler Breeze's song.
Right?
A little bit.
But it was good. I like that too. Yep, absolutely. Well then, let's get to the old social media play pages, if we will. You can follow this man and his podcast on Facebook at
Takin the Bump podcast.
You can follow this man and his podcast on Twitter at
TheC podcast.
You can go to his Pro Wrestling Tees store where you can get a couple different t-shirts at
ProWrestlingTees.com/TtheC podcast.
Flawless. Bessie's impressed. I'm impressed. As always, you fine folks, ladies and gents, if you feel ever so kind to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please do by hitting that subscribe button down below and press that little bell notification so when you see a new video pop up either every week or twice a week, we'll try to get some new content out. Of course, with working, school, everyday life, fiance, 4-year-old, big kid over here. A lot going on. But we're going to try to get some more content. But either way, just please hit that subscribe button. Press that bell icon so that way you get notified every single time a new video gets uploaded to our channel. Like the video. Share it to every single wrestling page, every single group, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, whatever. Share it to everywhere so that way we can try to grow the page, of course, and grow the channel. Comment what you did like, what you didn't like, what you wanted to see us do more of, less of. Any new ideas? I'm open to everything. Feedback is crucial to our content. If you guys want something different or something new, let me know, and I'll be up to willing to try anything and to see what you guys like. Of course, you can follow us on Facebook, Beyond the Curtain Podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at BtheC Pod 18. And of course, you can follow us and find our couple t-shirts on ProWrestlingTees.com. by going to ProWrestlingTees.com/Beyond the Curtain Wrestling Podcast. You already know it. Other than that, I think that's it. I think that's it for this week. I'm not going to have the blunder like we did last week where we tried to end the show and it went horribly. So we're going to try this once and nicely. So, appreciate you guys for tuning in this week. Appreciate you guys following the page on Twitter, Facebook, on social media, by commenting, liking, and sharing these videos, and just giving you guys feedback. It's fun to talk with you guys. Hopefully some more content with some new guests or something like that. It's going to be coming up soon. But in the meantime, hope you guys enjoy this. Enjoy the rest of your day, evening, night. Love each other, as always. God made us all equal. We're all equal under one. So love everybody. Love your neighbors. Love your friends, family. Hope you guys are staying safe and staying healthy with all this that's going on in the world as well. So hope you guys are doing great, and we will see you guys next week on Beyond the Curtain Wrestling Podcast.